Yay. Welcome to yoga. I'm Brittney. This is Robin. We're going to go through a little bit of balance and hips today. I pulled a card earlier before you guys all got here. Most of you got here. And actually two popped out. And I like both of them. So I'm going to read both of them just to give you food for thought while we move on the mat tonight or today, if you end up watching this later. This one says, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural, which I think is a great reminder. And then the second one is, instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all. So maybe you can take that as food for thought into whatever life circumstance that you're in right now and see how that resonates in your body. So why don't we just start in a seat? If you can find a block and place it underneath your hips, that'll allow a little more room for anyone who has tight hips tonight. And you can sit cross-legged or you can sit on top of your shins. Like always, Robin is a really good demoer to keep an eye out for, and I will try to give alternate views, but usually it's just the words that I try to spiel out. But get comfortable. Stack your spine up tall. Relax your jaw. Begin to close your eyes. We'll start, of course, by grounding into the breath. Maybe you take one big sip of air in through your nose and an open mouth exhale out of your mouth. If that felt good, you can do that again. Breathe in through your nose. Feel your ribs expand in 3D, and then breathe out. Let your jaw stay loose. Take one more. Breathe in through your nose. Feel yourself get a little taller. Open mouth exhale. Let your shoulders get a little heavier. Let your hips anchor in, and start to breathe in and out of your nose. Again, remembering from within, deep within, you can have mindful moments. Every single breath can be counted as a mindful moment. And remind yourself that you are love and your life is a miracle, and that is natural. Start to stretch your breath out, lengthening on both inhales and exhales. Take note of any place in your body that has tension, that needs your special awareness as you move. And just be kind to yourself tonight. Not just physically, but mentally. You can keep your hands just soft on your thighs or reach them down towards the floor. Lower your chin down towards your chest. Feel out the back of your neck. Rock one ear from left to right. Just notice what you feel on the back side of your neck and the side parts of your neck. If it feels good to close the eyes, try going inward like that. Evening yourself out, bring your chin towards the center and lift your crown back up to the sky. Take a big breath in, reach your hands all the way up overhead. Go ahead and look up, see your hands touch together. Exhale, pull your hands in towards your heart space. If you have another intention for yourself tonight, the way you want to move, the way you want to breathe, the way you want to feel, that can be your intention. Set it right now with a breath in through your nose and a breath out of your mouth. Take your time, go slow, shift forward, off of your block. Bring your props to the front of your space and land in a tabletop position. So bring your shoulders over your hips, or shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Let's tuck the toes under so your feet can stretch out. Take a breath in, shine your sits bones up towards the sky as you hammock your belly towards the floor. Pull your shoulders back, lift up your chin. Exhale, push the ground away and feel your back dome into a big C shape. Tuck your tail down, look down, and move with your breath. Inhale, find an arch through your spine, openness in your heart and throat. Exhale and round yourself out. One more time, breathe in, find an arch. Imagine the heels of your hands can pull back towards your knees. Exhale and push the ground away one more time. Now come back to neutral. Let's spin the fingertips backwards. So you'll just take your hands and rotate out with the fingertips facing back. Your palms are still on the floor. With the toes tucked under, keep your elbows strong and straight and just lean back so you feel the stretch in your forearms and in your feet. If you need a little more sensation, you can crawl your knees forward, really sit back on the heels, feel the stretch in your wrists. Maybe you bend into one elbow at a time. Notice if it makes you want to pick up the heel of your hand. If your shoulders are up towards your ears, can you find a little length in your neck? Do one more breath here. And shift forward, spin your hands back to the front. With one palm down, let's just keep the left hand down. Flip the top of your right hand down with your fingertips back towards you. Keep your elbows strong and straight with the eye of the elbow facing forward. And then from there, lean back to feel the stretch in the top of your forearm. If you feel like you have a lot of mobility here, you can hang out at the end. You can also try curling your fingertips in either one at a time or all together so you make a semi-fist. And just notice how that changes in your forearm for you. Try that one more time. And then shift forward. You can circle out your right wrist. Let's try the other side. Flip the top of your left hand down so your fingertips are back facing your knee. And straighten out your elbow so you can shift your weight over your wrist to start. And then to feel the stretch, lean back again. Keep your shoulders out of your ears. Try curling your fingers in if you did that on the other side. Depending on if you mouse all day, either in your right or your left hand, or you predominantly write or use one hand. Just notice how you feel. One more breath. And then shift your weight forward. You can circle out that wrist. Let's walk the fingertips forward just so you're in a more lengthy tabletop shape. So it's not a complete square. It's walked out a little bit. With the toes tucked under, take a breath in. Feel your belly gather. Exhale, let's lift up the knees and push it all the way back to a downward facing dog. And immediately you can start to pedal into the backs of your legs, or you can find some solid stillness with softer knees. Think about lengthening more so from your wrists out of your sits bones. So at the base of your pelvis are your sits bones. You can also think about your tailbone. Keep the length in your low back and find a little activation in your armpits. Right? Push the ground away as much as you can and shove your shoulders out of your ears, finding a little more space around your neck. Notice if your low ribs are flaring out. Can you hug them in slightly? Yeah. Push down into your hands firmly and find a little strength in your quads. So without completely straightening out your knees, you don't have to lock them out, but see if you can engage them so much that you feel more length all the way from your heels to your sits bones. Stay for one big breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale, pulse yourself forward so your shoulders are over your wrists again. You can lower down onto your knees for a modified plank position. Think length out of the crown of your head, tailbone down. Take a big breath in and exhale, lower yourself all the way to your belly. All right, keep your hands wide. You can take them off your mat, tense your fingers down, lift up your elbows towards the sky. Keep your legs really long and press firmly into all 10 toenails. Take a breath in and lift up your crown. Pull your shoulder blades back. Come up medium or halfway. Exhale, roll yourself down. We'll try it one more time. Breathe in. Our spine should feel warm and energized. Good. Exhale, come all the way down. Now, let's actually pause for a second. You're going to take your right hand. Let's keep it right underneath the face for now. You can put your forehead down if that helps you visualize or just relax your upper back. I want you to feel your tailbone kind of hiding underneath you like a little dog, so you feel your pubic bone pushing down into the ground. Keep that length in your hips and your low back. Bend your left knee and kick your heel towards your butt. So with your forearm, your right forearm supporting your head, you can reach back with your left hand. See if you can grab your foot and zip your thighs a little closer together. Keep pushing your pubic bone down into the ground. Notice what you feel. Maybe you can feel your heel touch your glute, maybe not. You can always grab a strap if this one's a little more challenging for you. Stay for one more breath. I want you to try something different. You're going to keep this shape in your body, but the action's going to be different. So kick into your hand as much as you can. You can push down into your right forearm to give your heart a little lift. You can feel the stretch in your chest. Maybe you even kick so hard your thigh floats off the ground. Take a big breath in. Notice your low back. Keep pushing your pubic bone into the ground. Get this extension from your upper back. And when you breathe out, you can relax. So keep your knee bent. You can let go of your foot. Bring your right arm out to the side so your elbow is in alignment with your shoulder. Use your left arm to help push and roll onto your right side. Look to the left so your right ear is down on the floor. She's gonna scorpion kick me. Okay, so you should feel this stretch right across the front of your right chest. Maybe a little twist in the back feels good. You could also still feel that same openness through the front of your left hip as you reach your toes back behind you. If your toes are floating, that is okay. You're using your left hand as leverage to help push you over. And if this is too intense, you could always straighten out your arm to the side. Let your shoulder get heavy. If your elbow is tucked in too close by your side, you're not going to feel that big of a chest stretch. So keep your elbow away from your body. Take one more breath here. Roll yourself back down onto the belly. You can windshield wiper your legs from left to right if that is calling your name. But then we'll start back again, just in the center with your legs really long. Bring your left arm underneath you and let your forehead plop down there. I want you to visualize your pubic bone, again, pushing down into the ground before you bend your right knee and kick your foot up towards the sky. And then you can reach your right arm back for your right foot. So I want you to feel the heaviness of your thigh. Think length out through your knee. Bring your thighs as close together as possible. If your knee flies out to the side, you're not going to get the deepest hip flexor stretch. We're going to try to stay a little purist here with the quads. Feeling good? Mm-hmm. All right. Right, then we're going to find some energy. So do your best to kick into your foot, kick into your hand. Notice how that starts to lift up your chest. You can keep pushing with your left arm to help you get that lift. Maybe you kick so high that just your thigh starts to float off the bottom. Think broad and open through your chest. Stay for one more breath. Good. Exhale, let yourself come down. Bring your left elbow out to the side. Keep your right leg leading. Look over to the right as you roll over onto your left side. Get this stretch in your chest. the pecs. Sometimes close down if we're huddling over a computer screen or a book or a cell phone. So let this be your opportunity for a big heart opener. One more breath here. Go ahead and lower all the way down to your belly, legs long behind you. Bring your hands underneath your elbows with them pointing up towards the sky. I want you to feel a lot of energy here. Take a breath in, push down into your hands, find a full cobra, or push into your feet and find more of an upward facing dog. That just means your thighs are floating off the floor. Okay, you can keep them rested. Roll your shoulder blades back. Lift your chin off your chest. Feel the whole front line of your body opening. Big breath. Use your core. Exhale. Let's shift all the way back. Knees together. Hips back over your heels. Round into your spine. You can let your hands just be in front, or you can let your arms dangle down by your side so you're tucked into a tight little ball. Bring your hands around for your feet. See if you can grab a hold of them. Even if you separate your feet out and your knees out a little bit, you'll still feel this good stretch. Slowly lift your hips off your heels and let your arms catch you so there's no weight in your head. Think about lifting up as much as you can, puffing up through your low back, your mid back, in between your shoulder blades. One more breath in and a breath out. Go ahead and lower your hips all the way down to the ground. Slowly rebuild your spine. Coming up into your seat. Take a breath in. Let's lift the arms all the way up overhead. Good. Exhale, slowly let the hands come forward. We're going to find our way back to a tabletop shape. Tuck your toes under. Take a breath in. Push down into your arms as much as you can. Exhale, lift up your knees. Find a downward facing dog. You can walk it out again one more time. Check that your feet are about hip width distance apart and your hands are shoulder width distance apart. Okay. Take a breath in and lift your right leg as high as you can up towards the sky, leading with your heel. Keep pushing down evenly in both of your hands. Exhale, pull your knee up towards your nose and try to stamp your right foot down lightly close to your hands. It's okay if it's not all the way up and in between. Lower your left knee down to the ground. You can walk yourself up onto your thigh. Nice. Let's settle into the hips. Find an evenness in your hips. So if your right hip starts to hike up, see if you can lower it down, settling into the hips as much as you can. Again, leading with your pubic bone. That'll help you stay out of your low back. Take a breath in, reach all the way up. Hit exhale and let your hands come behind your head. So your elbows stay wide. Think about using your hands as a support for your head. Take a breath in. And exhale, lean yourself over to the right. Stand down firmly through your right big toe. If you feel a nice big stretch through your waistline, or even all the way up into your tricep or your lats, that's perfectly okay. Maybe you also feel it down into your hip flexors again. If this is a balance challenge for you, you could always take a block and put it down with your right hand. Stay for one more. Good, breathe in, lift your spine back up to the center. Exhale and reach for the blocks at the top of your space. Shift your hips back. We're gonna go just with one straight leg in the front. Pull your toes up towards your face. Take a breath in, think long spine. Bring your heart up and over as you breathe out. Getting into your hamstring and your low back. Check in with what you feel at the base of your neck, the bottom of your foot. Add a little sponginess to your right knee. So it doesn't have to be, again, completely locked out. And take a breath in, lift up your spine. Bend into your right knee, land lightly on your right foot. Use your hands to help you if you need to. Tuck your left toes under, Lift your back knee. Take a big step all the way up to the top of your mat with your feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Take a long spine all the way up from your tail to your crown. Exhale, then fold it on down. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to your thighs. Exhale to fold. Bend into your knees. Slowly rebuild your spine one notch at a time. Let your arms hang loose like noodles. When you get your head up, take a breath in, reach all the way up. Exhale and take your hands in towards your heart. Close your eyes. Channel in your breath, in through the nose, out through the nose. Cool. Now take your hands to your hips. We're gonna keep the right foot in front and you're gonna stagger your feet, left foot behind. So it's like you're on a little tightrope. I'm gonna move these guys so you can see. Okay. Maybe this is not challenging for you. For some people, it is super challenging. So maybe if you close your eyes, you can actually feel all the tiny tendons around your ankles working and even into your feet. I want you to imagine your toes spreading out wide, giving you this big base of support. All four corners of your feet, which is big toe, little toe, inner heel, outer heel. On both of your feet, giving you stability. And then take a breath in, reach all the way up. And exhale, hands come back behind your head again, just like you did before. Take a breath in and think about lengthening out through your waist. And when you breathe out, again, just tilt yourself over to the right. Feeling the stretch. Notice that if your eyes go sideways, does it make you feel like you want to tumble sideways like that? It's okay if you do. Try it for one more. Then we're really going to get into it. Take your right hand to your hip. Step your left foot a little further back behind you and off to the right. Think about bending into your right knee some, so you're kind of in a curtsy lunge with the back leg straight. Reach up and out with your left arm. Feel this big arching side bend. Take a big breath in. Exhale to deepen. Maybe you bend further into your right knee. Take one more breath in. And exhale. Now inhale, come up all the way to stand with both feet at the front. Reach up. Exhale and just let your arms shake down. You can jump up and down if it feels nice. And then just stand. Let's find even feet right underneath your hips. Rotate your shoulders out, palms facing the front. I want you to pretend that you were on the floor, just like you were at the beginning. Notice if your low back is arching, your belly is stretching out forward. Okay, think about putting your pubic bone first so that it's parallel or in alignment with your belly button. Your low back is long, your head is not forward in space. The back of your head is pressing back as if you had your hands to push back into. Proud heart. Take your breath back in. Let it flow through you. Let yourself receive it. Big inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Exhale, fold yourself in half. Hands can come through the middle or out to the side. Inhale, halfway lift. Think long spine. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands down. Let's step it all the way back to a plank. High on your toes or down on your knees. Take a big belly breath in. Exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Go slow, go slow, go slow. Watch your shoulders. Untuck your feet, keep them long. Inhale, come up to any size cobra that you like. Exhale, push yourself all the way back into a little round child's pose, or you can go all the way back to downward facing dog to find your rest. Up to you. 3 breaths wherever you're at. Feeling into your hips, your spine. Last one. If you're in your child's pose, go ahead and meet us in a downward facing dog. Once you're there, feel your shape, feel your form. Keep pressing down firmly through your arms. Breathe in and lift your left leg high to the sky. Think long through the right arm. Exhale, pull your knee in towards your nose. Let's step it down light. Lower your right knee down. Start to climb up. Yeah, settle into your hips. Again, feeling out the hike, whether or not you have that. We'll try to even them out. Keep your waistline long on both sides. And take a breath in, reach up. Exhale, interlace your hands, potentially the opposite way if you did have them laced up, and place behind your head. Take a breath in. Think long through the spine. Exhale, gently tilt over to your left. Think about that balance, right, in your front foot. One more breath. Both of your waists should feel long. Use your inhale to come all the way back up. Good. Exhale, reach forward for the blocks if you need them. And then push your hips back. So they should be over your right knee. Pull your toes up towards your face. Breathe in, find a long spine. Exhale, let yourself fold up and over. If you have the depth for your hamstring, right, you can get your face as close to your feet as possible. You can stay with a long spine or let the entire upper back relax. Stay for a breath. Use your breath in to come back up through the center. You bend into your left knee, use your hands, tuck your right toes under, lift up your knee, step it all the way up. Feet hip width. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale to fold. This time, push through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Sweep your hands with you overhead. Exhale, hands in towards your heart space. And then take them to your hips. We're gonna put the left foot in front this time. Right foot behind. This narrow base of support can feel challenging. So maybe you just start first with anchoring into your feet. Spread out your toes. Think about finding your alignment long through your tail and your crown. Then maybe you close your eyes one at a time. Test your balance. Just like winking at yourself. Oh my gosh. It's hard, huh? Okay, now we're gonna try the side bend. So breathe in, reach high. Exhale, hands behind your head. Give yourself that support, right? You're pushing back into your head instead of letting your hands collapse your head forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, side bend to your left. Maybe you look up with your eyes towards the ceiling or toward your right elbow. That is hard. Take a breath in. And exhale. All right, bring your left hand to your left hip. Step your right foot back and off the mat to your left. So I'll give you a visual from this side. And then breathe in, reach up through your right arm. Exhale, side bend to your left even more. This whole entire line in your hip, through the front and through the side, it's all connected. Stay with it. Breathing into your chest, your belly. And use your really strong inhale to come all the way up to stand. Feet together this time. Exhale, arms all the way down. You can, again, just jump it out a little bit if you need to find some release if something's just in your body. Honestly, this is yoga. This is feeling into my body, okay? All right. It's a release. It's a chance to let go. Every time you breathe out, think about expelling something that you don't need or want. And every time you shake yourself out, let yourself metabolize something and push it out of your system. You don't need it anymore. And after you do that, coming into stillness, notice how grounded you feel, or how much more at peace you feel once you literally work through the shit. Once you sweat. Stay for one more moment. And then take a breath in, reach your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, let's fold it all the way down. Bend into your knees. Do your best to find a seat as smoothly as you can, whatever way that is. All right. Leave your legs out in front of you with a slight bend. Okay, I like them a little up and with my feet active, so you can try that. Okay, bring your right hand back behind you. Take a breath in with your left arm up overhead. Exhale and twist to your right. So trying to sit up tall. You can let the feet land down if that feels right for you. Look all the way over your right shoulder. Again, think of this as a wringing out. Let your knees glue together. And we'll switch sides. Breathe in, reach both arms high. Feel the length in your spine. Notice if you're sitting back, so you can sit up really tall. Exhale, switch it over, left side. Use the connection on your right arm to push and leverage your way into this twist. Think about your breath in, bringing your crown higher, and your exhale drawing you into a tighter twist. One more. Unwind yourself, coming back to the center. Grip onto your hamstrings and separate your feet to hip-width distance apart. Let yourself find some leverage back to feel into your back body. That stretch in between your shoulder blades. And then use your breath to help pull you up. Think about getting broad in your chest, squeezing your elbows back. Do that again, round into the spine, lean back onto your sacrum, and then pull yourself up, think broad chest. Cool. Now, just relax it a little bit. And we're gonna bend the right knee and hug your heel in tight and close to your left glute. And then you're gonna take your left leg, cross it all the way over. You're gonna try to get the tops of your feet down and your knees stacked. So my left knee is trying to go over to the right and my right knee is trying to go over to the left. You're gonna try to wiggle your butt back so you really feel anchored into your feet. If this is not available for you, just lean over onto your right side, keep your right leg straight, but let your left knee hang down, okay? Take a breath in, sit up tall, breathe out and lean forward as you either grip onto your feet or you can let your hands come in front of you. If you've got your blocks and you want a little forehead support, you can just let yourself pull in like this. You shouldn't feel too much pressure in your knees. It's all about the hips here. Anchoring back into both of your sits bones evenly. Doing okay? Mm-hmm. Let something else go. One more. Use your inhale to ride yourself back up to a seat. And unwind your legs, bring them out in front of you. You can wiggle them out. Again, the shake is good. Okay, and then we're gonna go left leg first, followed by the right leg on top. Do your best to get your knees aligned one over the other. So the closer in your heels are, the less of a sensation you'll get. Actually, the more out they are, the more you'll feel into your hips. So I like them tucked in though. It feels good. Take a breath in, sit up. Exhale, fold down. With your eyes closed, just imagine that someone had their hands around your hips, pulling you back. Pressing you down into the ground gently, but with a firm hand. Let your spine melt with every breath out. Tell your hips to receive your breath. And if you're telling yourself, oh my God, my hips are so tight, this is the miracle right here. The work that you put in to be with your hips, to be with your body and your breath. This is where you can make change. We don't do yoga because we're flexible. We do yoga to become flexible on the mat and off the mat. Use your breath in to come back up. As you exhale, legs out. Give them a little shake. Okay. If you have a big pelvis and you want more support, you're going to bring both blocks down with you. You're going to place them like this underneath your hips. Otherwise, one block will do just fine. Okay, plant your feet down. You can do what we did before with hands on the hamstrings. Just have your block at the middle of your space so it's handy. Lower yourself down one notch at a time. Go slow, go slow. Use your control and then let your head land light. Walk your feet in so they're close to your glutes. Pick your hips up. Slide a block underneath your hips. And you can stay right here with your knees bent in neutral. You can walk your feet out, let your knees knock in together. Or you can straighten out your legs all the way towards the top of your mat. So you're a big banana shape. Another option is to lift your feet up towards the sky. And imagine your legs, just like you do when you ragdoll with your arms, they feel like noodles. You can let your legs noodle around. Give them a little shake, or you can just rotate your ankles. You can let your feet go wide, holding on to them to give yourself some overpressure. Just let yourself play and explore. That's also part of the fun of being on the mat. You get to follow your body's intuition. Just let it have a chance to speak to you. Guide your legs back up overhead if they're wide. Plant your feet down. Softly lift your hips up and off your blocks. Lower your hips down. Give yourself one more squeeze and ask yourself if there's anything else that you need. Maybe it's a rock from left to right. Maybe it's one more twist. Maybe it's a big happy baby. Tailbone down, knees wide, heels up towards the sky. Take one more breath. And gather yourself into a tight ball. Picking up your head, kissing yourself. Say thank you. Big breath in. Exhale and expand. Take up your space. Let your feet go wide, toes flat out. Shuffle your shoulder blades one at a time by pressing into the back of your head to help them prop up your heart. With your palms up to the sky, think about releasing your grip. Release the control over your breath. Release your jaw and the tension around your eyes. Let yourself bask in the work that you just did. Let yourself reap the benefits for the next few minutes, and I'll call you out when it's time. Deepen your breath. Or stay as you are. There's no rush. Letting your breath get a little bigger if you feel ready. Start to find the tiny movements in your body and appreciate every little movement. Maybe you move so much that you pull yourself into a full body stretch. Arms overhead, toes long. And then you can bend your knees, roll over onto your left or your right side. Finding this transition so symbolic. We come from corpse pose to fetal pose as a sign of rebirth. You release the old, we're coming out with the new. I want you to find some gratitude for something that happened for you today. When you're filled with that gratitude, lift yourself up into a seat. You can keep your gaze inward or down or closed all the way. Sit yourself tall, bring your hands to your heart space. We'll close out this practice with a breath together. Take it in through your nose to start. And an open mouth exhale. Thank you so much for coming and for sharing your practice with us. From our hearts to yours. Namaste. Namaste.